see the soft side, not the career driven, always working, the hardened side.
See the real you.
You want to see
not the makeup.
Yeah, well, that, and you want to have the softness. You want the softness, and sometimes we as black women don't know how to turn that off. Sometimes we're always in combat mode, and that is a result of always having to.
Chicks don't be smiling; they be frowned up.
Well, you know, you can say all that smiling stuff, but it's like I always say, if women were walking down the street smiling, you'd be like, this hoe is crazy.
You don't have to walk down the street smiling.
You know.
But if somebody say hi, you can say hi. And I know
girls say, like,
oh, this, you know, then he going to want to talk to me, da-da-da. I get it.
Which is usually the case, and that's another thing that guys sometimes need to understand.
Like
that's true. But sometimes you don't know what type of day a woman had, and maybe she don't feel like hearing all that hello shit right now. Like, just like men don't sometimes want to hear some shit when they come home from work. You don't want to hear a whole bunch of blah, blah, blah. Men don't offer women that same respect of when, you know, if a woman, you hollering at a chick and she's like, ugh, you don't know what she's had to deal with that day. And sometimes she just doesn't feel like hearing that shit. But instead it turns into, well, F you, bitch, and you wasn't all that anyway, and all that. And then you get, nowadays, some of these niggas is ready to shoot you because you didn't want to holler at them. So,
well, is that a black thing? Because
yes, it is.
It must be, because
it is.
I ain't gonna lie, white women and they definitely be aggressive, and they definitely be like, they more friendly. I ain't gonna lie, like, they friendly, they smile, like, hey, how you doing, blah blah blah. You know,
well,
but
white women don't carry the same shit as black women, which is true.
That's true, but I'm just
and
saying, don't wonder.
Men don't
wonder
carry
why.
The same stuff as black men.
And wonder why though. But a lot of guys be going that direction. You know, like maybe that's why. So that's something to think about. You know, that's a great valid point, but that's also something to think about. Like guys probably be like I ain't gonna lie, like, and I'm not even into the Caucasians and stuff like that at all, but they are definitely like white women. They're definitely friendly, and like I see the difference because I be around everybody. I see the difference, and you be like, damn.
But again, where is that difference born at? That difference is born from white women have a much different plight from black women. Much different.
Not all of them.
Yes, a lot of them do.
A lot of them, not all. You can't make a blanket statement because it's like...
I'm not making a blanket statement.
A lot of them don't have it. A lot of them got it rough,
I'm not
too.
talking about having it rough. It's a very different plight, period.
Look at that little chick on Ozark. Like, they're in the trailer park roof.
Okay.
They're in the trailer park. She ain't got it, like... Ruth has got it bad. Ruth is just like a trailer
Ruth
trash.
had it bad. Ruth is a millionaire now.
Because she came up because of the city folk came through.
But a white woman is going to have a much different plight from a black woman, period. She just is.
Yeah, but, you know, it is what it is. Hopefully
it's like I said, black women do come with the, you know, sassiness, combative at times. You know, black women will argue you down. And keep on arguing. And sometimes you have to learn, you know, mediation, peace resolution, choose your battles wisely. And, you know, not everything is a fight. But a lot of times what, you know, black men don't understand with black women is why they get that way with the combativeness and all that is because they don't feel like they can be soft with you. That's born out of something else as well. Because black women are the worst treated people on the planet.
I don't want no hardened. I don't be messing.
Exactly, you don't want a hardened woman. But what I'm saying is where that comes from. When you don't feel like you can trust and let your defenses down, that's where that's born out of. If you're always on defense because of whatever it is, abusive relationships or whatever, you know, you don't have the support of family, friendship, whatever it is. Until you feel that trust that you can be vulnerable with someone, those defenses are born out of a whole bunch of other things that, like we're saying, that black women are not afforded because they're taught to be independent and to have these defenses, whereas other cultures are not because they don't have to worry about the same things. So you get that hardened combativeness because you don't feel that you can let down or let out your vulnerability. And again, this is where teaching your sons how to be in relationships comes from also. You want a soft woman? You have to make a woman feel that she can be vulnerable with you. You want a strong man? You have to put in the certain energies to make that man feel like he is your protector, your provider, your man, the whole thing. So a lot of things to, unwrap there. There's a whole lot of more, deeper dynamics with that, but it is something to think about. Sometimes your daughters don't need to be raised to be completely independent. They need to learn how to be in relationships, how to deal with men, how to be a softer...
You need to learn how to be it's called like having a lieutenant. You have a captain and a lieutenant in a relationship. You need to know how to be the lieutenant. You know how that means you work together. Like, stop telling everybody to be independent. That's independent as an individual. That shit that's straight up individual. Like, you're not going into no relationship as no individual. You can't be in a relationship as an individual. And if you're talking about being married, it's no individual. You tied in. So you got to get that out your head. Like, you got to make a determination of what it is you really want. If that ain't what you really want, then hey, so be it. Keep doing what you do, but don't start crying. Don't start whining because the world kept spinning. Why? Until now you like, I'm ready. Like the world wasn't. No, the world kept going. And then you get, I can't find nobody. Oh, there's no good man. No, the world was spinning, and it was other people more vested in creating the atmosphere for them to snatch up all these dudes. The dudes that was good in their prime. Now you 50, over 50, like, yeah. Like, who are you finding? Who you find? The people that you find, you got to go through. Guess what you're going through? A whole bunch of broken glass. That's what you're going through out there.
Barefoot.
That's right. You're going to be bleeding. Because you're going through, it's going to be a lot of eating, it's like a lot of pain. Because you're going to be going through all of that. You're walking on broken glass out here. And that's just what it is at that age. Because everything is broken. Like, these people that's on the market, you really think these people ain't been through it, they ain't coming with all this baggage and they just found they self and, or they just, like, it's just a lot. It's a lot. 50 years of living. It's a lot. They divorcees, you got this, you got people that lost their husband, like people that died, and it's so much that happens in a half of a life in 50 years. Mm-hmm. Like, it's so much, and you don't know until they reveal this to you. And they might not never reveal everything, why they're at this point that they're really single. They might not never say nothing. You know what I'm saying? So that's a lot. That's a lot to handle. And this is all the stuff that you're handling at a certain age. It's really, and you blame, and then you start doing the blame game. Oh, men ain't this, men ain't that. That's not a blame. Women ain't that, women ain't this. No, you missed the boat.
And you can't, you also miss the boat when the first argument comes up and you ready to run.
Yeah.
You run right off rip because y'all have a disagreement. Like, I ain't putting up with this
That's
shit.
The new young people.
This ain't serving my highest good, so I'm out. And then you're going to be the cat lady or the lonely man looking like a fool.
I'm not dealing with this.
You can't communicate. You can't resolve a conflict. You can't give someone space and then talk later. You just ready. Everybody just cut off.
Like, I ain't dealing with this. I don't have to deal with this. Da. Yeah, you could keep bouncing, but guess what? You in your 30s, you bouncing. You'll keep bouncing. Whoa.
And don't
50.
think that the other one is looking at you like,
40.
why you ain't got nobody?
Yeah.
Why are you single for so long? Why can't
and guess what? I tell my sons all the time, when you meet somebody, it's a reason. Either they in a relationship that's on the fritz, about to be over, or it's a reason that they here single. Especially if it's a good-looking person, that's when you really know. Like, okay, this person might be just an asshole and just not, relationship material. Like, all of that, it's so much stuff that's in play. Man, I'm telling you, it's a lot in play that you may never know. But, hey, to each his own. I hope this gave you a little insight. I hope it can help some young people.
Talk to your sons and daughters, y'all.
Talk to your sons and daughters, man. We're going to wrap this up.
Give y'all a little wacky news on the way out. Little nose of what's been going on in the world this week. And the last couple of weeks, as we've been a little off our usual schedule. But, one of the main things that was going on this week was, The Ahmaud Arbery killers, those 3 white men lost their appeal. They're going to prison. They ain't going to federal jail. And that's a beautiful thing. The judge sided with the family and is meting out appropriate justice for those murderers, which I think is a great thing. Also, you got to speak on the football coach dude because he's raising hell. I don't remember his name. Yes, he's raising hell out there.
Yeah, they fired him. And Mike Tomlin's the only black coach left. Then you got coaches getting hired that has no coaching background. But you know what it is with the NFL. The NFL, like, everybody's surprised. Like, don't be surprised. The NFL is the NFL. It's always been the good old boys club. And these guys are fighting to keep it the good old boys club.
They sure are.
They're going to throw you, they're going to throw you a little bone every now and then.
That's all it is a bone.
They're going to throw you a little bone every now and then to keep you happy. Like, keep the natives calm. Throw them something, But at the end of the day, the good old boy club is going to be the good old boy club. They ain't going to let... I really still feel like, we got we got more black quarterbacks. And the thing with that was always we wasn't no quarterbacks. They really felt like
the black man wasn't smart enough
to be a quarterback.
Yep.
And that's the thing behind that. And if you're not smart enough to be a quarterback, if they looking at you like that, what makes you think they think you're smart enough to be a coach, to run the whole team, not just on the field, those guys on the field, but the whole team.
Those insecurities are also born out of they're going to take over the whole thing.
No, they want to keep that. That's part of it. But they want to keep that in their head, like 3/4. Man, the 3/4 of man, whatever. That shit is real. Like they want to always, like some people want to keep you feeling like that, even though you prove over and over, like, dude, we are just as smart or smarter than you. Like. They want to keep it in their head, like, he can't handle it. Throw some money at him, because that's the big deterrent, the money. So, but that's, Herbert Lee Flores coming out, he bringing the lawsuit. I don't know where it's going.
I don't know.
He's stirring up the pot. A lot of people stepping up. A lot of people stepping up. Like, this is true. This is true.
NFL's been getting, they've been poking that bear for years, so... I don't know. Maybe it will affect some change. Maybe it won't. But I know that a South Georgia sheriff over there on what's his name? Kendrick Johnson, who was found rolled up in a gymnastics mat however many years ago. And it looked like this other dude who worked for the FBI's kids killed him over a girl, allegedly. So now the sheriff of that town is offering up $500,000 of his own personal money, to lead up to a reward for, the real killers or whatever. And the outrageousness of that is that he's actually good friends with the 2 Caucasian boys' father who worked for the FBI. So he's like been on their side since day one. And his whole thing is also centered around, if y'all could prove that I was covering this up or that, that I wasn't telling the truth in this, I'm giving up $500,000. Well, dude, you're on the family side, so no one is coming to make that claim. And the whole thing has always been that it was a cover-up because the dude's father worked for the FBI. It's like another slap in the face to Kendrick Johnson's family.
In Minneapolis, you got hundreds of protesters march through Minneapolis after police shooting of Amir Locke. It's like hundreds of people gathered downtown Minneapolis on Saturday to protest the following police shooting of Amir Locke,
who was killed like Breonna Taylor.
22-year-old black man who was shot and killed by police during an early morning no-knock warrant raid on Wednesday. Protests stood outside the Henry County Government Center and demanded Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey's resignation. They also pushed for firing and prosecution of the Minneapolis police officer Mark Hanneman, who fatally shot Locke. All right, video circulating on Twitter showed a crowd of people gathering towards chanting Amir Locke while holding up signs with his name scrolled on them. Cars were blocked up. Some roads, protesters marched in the street. Here we at it again.
And it's amazing that no one has yet to figure out that these no-knock warrants rarely work. It's like, it's just...
Yeah, they creep the door open, I heard, too. Like, they jimmied the lock. The guy couldn't even hear them coming in.
No, the landlord let them in.
Oh, the landlord let them in?
We used a key, so it sounded like a key was opening the door. The landlord